Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you very much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Shout out to all the subscribers. Welcome along anybody new. Gratitude to everybody. Xander Zayas defeats Damien Sosa in 10 rounds. Unanimous decision in an almost punch perfect, if not a punch perfect performance last night. That was really impressive stuff from Xander Zayas. Wow. He was dominant, but better in every single category than Sosa. You know, he's a more talented fighter, of course, and coming into this fight, I picked it to go on points, but I thought it'd be a bit more competitive. I thought Sosa would step on the gas and be a bit more physical and try to be a bit more rough, but I think it was a combination of Xander being too good and not letting him, and Sosa you know, kind of having a slightly timid game plan to start off with at least, and then just getting completely outclassed as the fight went on. But you know, even Timothy Bradley was saying in round one, you know, Sosa's got to, you know, come and be a bit more aggressive.
Sosa's choosing to box. I don't understand the game plan.
Because he could box a little bit, and I mentioned that, but Xander can box so much better. He was doing so many good things in there. And his poise was a lot better from the Teixeira fight. I know part of that was Teixeira's style and having to chase herky-jerky, spoiler, southpaw, someone coming to survive, you know, on the back foot with, you know, incredible survival skills. That's not easy to look good against. But I think that fight really probably, you know, a lot to learn from that fight in terms of his passion for trying to get the knockout and being a bit calmer. He was really fantastic last night. It was a joy to watch, and you know, I think there were some questions of is he ready to mix it up with the big boys at the top at 154, and performances like that can only suggest that yes, he probably is. You never know until they're in the ring, but the big names surely now will be you know, next, if not next. In fact, stick around because I've got a couple of names I'm going to mention that I think will be good fights right now, and I'd love to hear from you guys who you think he should fight. But back to the fight, he had a beautiful jab.
Great jab.
His range control was superb.
That he's learned how to do. It's a special skill, I should say.
He was always just stepping out of range. He had level changes, he had feints, combinations.
Your lab as we look ahead to tonight's main event.
Uppercuts.
Oh, nice right uppercut from Xander. That tells you what kind of rhythm.
Right hands, defensive responsibility, getting out of the way, turning.
More opportunities. You got to think about it this way. You know, when you're in football.
Jabbing, staying composed. And, you know, just a really fantastic performance from Xander Zayas. Yes, Sosa could have done more. And, you know, ultimately didn't really make it physical enough, and there was a couple of moments, and if not one moment, I'll pull up the clip right towards maybe the 7th or 8th round.
Gets the better of it.
Nice bump right there, getting physical on the inside. Another bump. There's nice shot right there from Sosa.
Telling you, Sosa, if he did this earlier on, at some point he's got to sell out.
Where Xander actually obliged him on the inside a little bit, and it got a bit more physical, and that's the kind of fight I thought it would be more of, because Sosa would fight more of it, and Xander actually held his own and was fighting him in the pocket. But I thought Sosa would have those moments and make it, you know, a bit more physical and be rough and, you know, get to him a little bit. But Xander's eyes didn't allow him, and in fact he said post-fight, he not got the best out of me, but you know, he definitely he had his respect.
I just told him that he pushed me and he elevated me to the next level. And
I think Xander Zayas made it look easier than, you know, than from the outside, because he won. Well, listen, he's won 20 rounds in a row against Teixeira and now Sosa, where he's basically won every single round of 20 rounds in a row. Think about that. That's impressive stuff. But he definitely was complimentary of Sosa and definitely got a lot out of that fight. And I was saying pre-fight, this is good matchmaking, because these are the exact kind of fights that will help prepare you for the bigger names. And as I said, even though it was a dominating performance, he made it look easy. That was because he was that good. I mean, he really didn't put a foot wrong. It was perfection, you know, hence the thumbnail. It was really, he did not put a foot wrong. And yes, Sosa could have done more. But, you know, sometimes when you have someone that's just out-skilling you, it's hard to just step on the gas and come forward. He was just getting jabbed when he came in. He was either missing, you know, that overhand right I spoke about. Zayas saw that coming and tried to counter it one time where, you know, Sosa drops down and level changes and then throws a sneaky right hand over the top.
Just style. You have to understand that. That's the difference.
Zayas tried to counter that, so they were waiting for that left hook. When I mentioned that, I was like, I thought he might catch it like that and then shoot, but they were on top of it. They had the great game plan, perfected the game plan with poise and professionalism and execution. It was a fantastic performance for Xander Zayas, and it was just, you know, as one-sided as it was, I enjoyed watching it, you know, because the skill level was on display. And, you know, it's like really intriguing to see where he's going to go next. So speaking of, I'm sure I've missed some stuff too, guys. Fill me in the comments if you saw something in that fight that I haven't mentioned. I'd love to hear from you. But in terms of who Zayas fights next, now personally for me, I think a good name could be Brian Mendoza. Now I say that because I know he's lost a couple of times, right? Or he's lost 3 times now, but the 3 fights he's lost have all been of high level. Obviously, Tim Tszyu is, you know, considered one of the best in the division, if not the best. Him and I don't know what Jamel Charlo's doing. Obviously, Bud's in the division, you know, the champions, Fondora, but, you know, Ortiz as well. Obviously, he had that close fight with Boachok. Boachok beat Mendoza. Tim Tszyu beat Mendoza, and Jesus Ramos beat Mendoza. Now, those two, Mendoza and Ramos, are very good fights for Zayas because they're still good. Mendoza's a good fighter, and it's a good name, and it'll be a good scalp, and it'll be another step up. He mentioned he wanted the top 5. Yeah, fair play to him. Yeah, I love it. I love that. The thing about Zayas is he's getting better and better, and he wants to get the best out of himself, and I've got so much love for that. It's a big part of this channel. Anytime, you know, there's a lot of fighters that I can't follow them all, but the fighters that really try to get the best out of themselves, I highlight that because it's an admiration. I'm admired by that, you know, because it can't be easy. He's 22, and, you know, he's growing into his body, and he's looking better and better, and he just wants to go for the, you know, I know he's not totally in control, and he said, you know, leave it to the promotional, but they tried to press him on it. He's at top 5. But at the moment, I wouldn't mind if a Lubin fight came up. I wouldn't mind a Jesus Ramos. I wouldn't mind. I would like Brian Mendoza too. I think personally, the likes of Bud, Tim Tszyu, Ortiz, and Fondora would be an interesting fight. I think, to be honest, that's a bit too far right now. I'm not saying he couldn't win those, but I think he would probably be the underdog, and it might be a step too far just yet. But who knows in a year or whatever? Because the thing is, because his learning curve is going so fast up, right? I mean, it's like frightening to see how good he could be in a year. But I think personally, you know, I would put him in there with one of those guys I mentioned. Well, Midrimov's out there as well. Just 154 is absolutely stacked. That's a complicated fight though with Midrimov. You know, he's just like a real crafty southpaw with that Uzbek style, powerful guy, you know, like real athletic. It could be a very interesting fight. I have absolutely no idea who would win that fight right now. Coming off the performance Midrimov just had, and at the stage he just performed at, you know, he'd probably make Midrimov maybe a slight favourite, but at the same time, coming off the performance Zayas has just had, you can't count him out to be in a competitive fight with any of the top guys, to be honest with you. But we never know until they get in the ring. But let me know who you think he should fight, because it's a very intriguing time for the 154 division, and it's an intriguing time for this young man, and he's great for the sport already. Obviously, Puerto Rican boxing is yearning for that superstar, and he's got basically everything, really, hasn't he? I mean, it's like it was a punch-perfect performance against somebody, yes, he was supposed to beat, but he made it look easy. And it was impressive to watch. So respect to him. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. I've got loads of videos on the way. There's a ton of fights coming up, from the Saudi card to I'm going to do an Oscar Cayazo cover. I'm going to be going away on Sunday, but I'll do that when I'm away. I'll just drop a video in hopefully before that, a few days before. I'm covering the Better Be a Bevo. I'm going to film that later tonight and put it out in about a week. What else is there? Yeah, I've got, I'll probably do a video on Matthias as well, the Gladiator. I want to do this Bevo documentary I've been working on. I've got a lot of stuff going on, so stay tuned. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button or hit the subscribe button. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Peace and love to all. See you soon.
I let everybody know that I'm ready for the elite names.
Who do you want?
Whoever in the top 5.
Boxing.
On it.